People are wondering, will we see that sort of degree of scrutiny here? And certainly it is a bipartisan hearing. Both the Republicans and the Democrats wanted to call this hearing. They've called not only Heather Bresch, the CEO of Mylan, but also an official from the FDA, Douglas Throckmorton. So there will be questions both about, Mylan's EpiPen price increases, but also on the FDA side why we haven't seen more competition. So that will be interesting to watch. In her prepared testimony, Heather Bresch saying that price and access exist in a balance, and she says we believe we have struck that balance. She goes through in the testimony the list price of EpiPen being $600 for two, saying really that that's not the actual price that most consumers have to pay. They've increased their patient access, and they didn't anticipate this rising minority, they say, of patients who have to pay that high list price. As Brian pointed out earlier, Mylan is not the only stock to watch today, as Mylan has tried to shift the focus not just on the price increases of drugs, but also to the supply chain in the drug industry. PBMs, pharmacy benefits managers like Express Scripts, CVS Health, and United Health, which owns a pharmacy benefits manager, also may be under scrutiny today. We have seen their stocks really be impacted by all this talk, as well as drug distributors who are also in the system like AmerisourceBergen and McKesson and Cardinal Health as well. So those are stocks to watch. Of course, if Mylan was hoping that some of the news may have died down ahead of this hearing, it was disappointed. Yesterday, a lot of pieces of news coming out from the West Virginia Attorney General asking for them to start complying with a subpoena and investigation into the price increases, to more scrutiny, as you pointed out, in USA Today, in the EpiPens for Schools program, and the involvement of Mylan CEO's mother in the EpiPens for Schools program. Then, of course, the Senate Finance Committee also looking into the idea that Mylan may have misclassified the EpiPen under the Medicare drug rebate program. So a lot of issues swirling. Probably all of those going to be addressed today, guys.
Yeah, hey, Meg, outside of that, the Financial Times, and I'm only referencing the FT because I think they're the only ones that have it. They call it an exclusive. They highlight a company called Novum Pharmaceuticals out of Chicago. I've never heard of them. Their LinkedIn profile says they're a private company with just 11 to 50 employees. That's how LinkedIn does it. So it's a small company that was launched last year. According to the FT, they've got it's called Aliquin. It's an eczema or acne treatment. It's in a tube, and they've raised the price of the tube of acne treatment by 3,900% in a year to $10,000 per tube. Per tube. I'm not asking you to comment on that. I'm just saying it appears that this type of thing may be a new business model for many startups.
Well, especially for ones that are able to carve out a competitive-free zone, someplace where there's nobody else who can really get their foot in the market for something like this. They buy it and do it. I mean, that's what Shkreli was doing. Yeah,
on their website, Novum says, well, $0 for some patients. Who knows who some patients are, but $10,000, Meg, for a tube. Methinks that, as our esteemed biotech and pharma reporter, you will be uncovering more of this type of behavior. Just a guess.
Yeah, these things aren't completely uncommon, and this is why we hear Hillary Clinton proposing a drug price oversight panel, really people to look out for these kinds of drug price increases, and then to determine, what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. And then you have Allergan CEO Brent Saunders coming out pledging not to raise drug prices by more than 10% a year. So a lot of scrutiny, and it's surprising when you still hear companies doing these eyebrow-raising price increases.
There are also calls on the FDA to streamline regulatory processes so you can get more competition in, because that's the type of thing that can really cut into some of these too. They're able to corner the market on an orphan drug where there is no other potential competitor in sight.
Yeah, and we'll hear from the FDA today, and one hopes we'll get some more insights into what's going on to make sure that the generic process is getting streamlined, that maybe there's some prioritization of programs where there needs to be more competition. But when you have Mylan's CEO in the room like that, it's hard to imagine the FDA is going to be getting nearly as many questions as she will.
Hey CNBC fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Here you're going to find videos packed with all of the information that you need to be smarter about your finances. You can subscribe by clicking right here, and click on all the videos around me or the eye right here to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.